Hey guys, B.O.L.T. We're here for MCU Part 1 summary. So basically in this one I'll go over Captain America The First Adventure, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Iron Man 2, the Hulk, Thor, and the Avengers. Anyway, let's start with Captain America The First Adventure. Basically, this one is it's in 1942. It is during World War II. Basically, they're trying to get soldiers amped up to join the army. They're also trying to figure out some way to make their soldiers better. So it is, I think it is Tony's father. There's two people. I believe it's the person who helped make the Ant-Man suit, and the one in Iron Man's father, Senior Stark. We'll call him Howard Stark. That's what his name is. They go ahead and create a super serum formula, and because Captain Steve Rogers was originally just a little skinny, got all these problems, but he's a little kick around. But when he actually was able to get into the military, he has the patriotism and the ideal idea for an American. So just the super serum just helped him out and made him the best and the perfect soldier. But at first, instead of sending him out to actually help, they brought him home to be advertisement, basically. Eventually he does hear from his original camp that his best friend Bucky Barnes, which was a childhood friend, has been captured. He goes and basically saves all these people. They go fight for against the Nazis, and he's there for most of it. But he goes against, I believe, Hitler, and it turns out to be another person known as Red Skull. Bucky gets, I think it was an explosion happens and he gets consumed, so we think he's dead. And then Red Skull gets a hold of alien technology known as it's been so long, it's a glowing box that basically holds the it's the Tessellect or something like that. It holds the Power Stone, I think it is. And basically it's just looking to hold all the power of the universe with Infinity Stones. Steve Rogers stops him, crashes the bomber into ice, and he gets frozen over. Sadly, the other thing gets found before him, and eventually he gets woken up back in 2010, I believe it is, and he gets brought up to speed with what's happening around the world. In 1995, basically a young McFury runs into Captain Marvel, who basically I believe is just a part of a Guardian team, but it turns out to be that the head of it, the mentor, is evil, and sets up the Skrulls, I believe. And the Skrulls are kind of just morphing beings, and they're put in the wrong by the mentor. I really didn't care too much for Captain Marvel to actually look too far into it. Iron Man, basically just Tony Stark. He's a billionaire playboy that likes to get drunk. During one of his tests, he gets captured by, I think it's Iraqians, and he's forced to create technology so they can terrorize America. But instead of making something for a weapon for them, they make the first ever Iron Man suit Mark I, which all it does is be able to shoot weapons, reflect some bullets, and then fly for a little bit. But sadly, he does get shrapnel when he gets, I think they blow down an aircraft he was in, and he gets shrapnel in his heart. And then there's a brilliant like surgeon that's able to take out the shrapnel, but of course it's affected his heart so bad that it gets replaced by like a energy core. And Iron Man 2, I think in this one, let's see, I'm trying to remember what Iron Man 2 was. Oh yeah, in this one, okay, yeah, so in the end of Iron Man, Tony gets approached by Nick Fury to join the Avengers, which they already have Captain America at this point. So basically in Iron Man 2, his core starts infecting him and getting into his blood, like full like iron and all that starts infecting him, so he gets crosswords on his neck and all that. And he is in a declining health situation, but he does start learning how to create better weapons. In the first one, all he does is run against someone who kind of organized him getting shot down. But it was like his like he was like his public face, and he just takes, I think, his design and makes the Iron Maiden or something like that, and no, Ironmonger, that's what it is. And he doesn't really think about what Iron Man does, and hey, it's gonna, when you get up high, it's gonna require you to have some kind of system to warm it up when it gets way too cold for the suit. So he's able to beat him that way. But Iron Man 2 is basically just Whiplash, and he's just trying to get a hold of the technology. We also get introduced to Black Widow, who's just a secret agent who can play double agent and have all these. She's basically the Marvel Universe's Batman. And then of course Nick Fury keeps asking him to join the Avengers. I think in Iron Man 1 we learn of Happy Hogan, which is just like one of the people to narrate the situation. Well, not narrate, but he creates the storyboards and all that, and he plays in most of the Iron Man films that he's in. And then trying to remember, Whiplash gets a hold of like the codes, and then we also have War Machine, who's like the best friend from military for Tony, and he takes one of his suits, which is basically like a mounted turret suit, and he becomes this war machine. They fight down a whole bunch of people. The government tries to shut down Iron Man, but eventually that just gets overflipped. And then the Incredible Hulk, basically he's just trying to live in solitude, but then Stan Lee's cameo is him taking a sip of the contaminated drink that he's in a drink factory. He gets a cut and it drops, some of his blood gets put in there, and basically they start hunting Bruce Banner down. Because of his damage, they put they make the Abomination to take him down, but because of the Hulk being able to take him down and look like the hero, Abomination is locked up for it, which we see in She-Hulk later on, that he was wrongfully accused. And then Thor, basically, it says here in 6 months before Avengers, so basically 1942's Captain America. Marvel was in 1995. Iron Man was in 2008, and 2011 was Iron Man 2. Same with the Hulk. And then a little bit longer after that would have been Thor. And Thor is basically just, Thor, the god of thunder. He has his father Odin, his brother, Master Mischievous, Loki. But Thor basically makes a revolt against his father, and him and his friends get punished. He gets sent to Earth, no powers. His hammer is the only way he can do it, but he must be worthy enough to pick it up, and those who are worthy as well gains the power of Thor. And then, so he's sent back to be human. He runs into a woman that doesn't understand what he's talking about for a while, but he does fall in love. Her name's Jane Foster, I believe. And then, I believe Loki sends the Destroyer after him to kill him. But he ends up, making his father proud by protecting Jane. And, I believe Odin is put into a sleep from his tear of sending his son into, that he like sheds a tear that allows him to gain his powers back and beat the Destroyer. And then in Avengers, basically Loki's coming after Thor as the king of Asgard, I believe, at this point. And he also gets confronted by Thanos, who basically says, I want you to infiltrate Earth. Here's an army. And basically everyone gets put together. Oh, a thing that I didn't go over in Thor was during the first attempt to get his hammer back, Thor is almost shot by Hawkeye. Anyways, for the rest, it's like for Avengers, they already have Black Widow, they already have Hawkeye on payroll, they already have Captain America willing to step in when possible. Iron Man comes in just because, I think it's Chitauri, that things are starting to come awry, so he joins in. Hulk is hunted down as well. And, trying to remember his name. Oh yeah, and Thor. So, basically everyone is, like, confronted, except for Thor. Thor just comes down because Loki is there and he wants to come for his brother, but because Loki is causing problems for humans, they want to try to arrest him, but because he's Asgardian, Thor says no, he's brother, so he'd be going by Asgardian law. But basically it turns into a huge problem, but Loki's able to take it and be mischievous, and basically I think he's able to brainwash Hawkeye. But he is able to get a hold of a scepter with the Space Stone, I believe, in it. Unlock a portal that allows all the Chitauri to come down. Everyone joins together to beat them. And in the end, they just, become a little bit of a more friendly group to each other. And then the next setup would be Thor: The Dark World. But we'll go over that next time. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.